What's up, everybody? It's Bullish Chips back with another episode. Wanted to just make a little video today, probably be the first in a series. We were approached by a few people and asked for a little more detailed view of how we actually set up the charts for the nightly video every day. So we wanted to put together, like I said, this is the first video, kind of rough, not sure exactly how we'll do it here, but I'm just going to try and make it really as simple as possible. Just show you guys my chart, show you what, lines I'm moving, why I'm moving them, lines I'm putting out there, lines I'm taking away, things of that nature. Just give a little bit more insight into how I chart, and it's very similar to how my coworkers chart as well. We all adhere to the strat, and so let's just dive into it. We'll start out with today's chart and basically update any broadening formations that need to be updated. Move our 4-hour markers, things of that nature, in preparation for not only tomorrow's trading but tonight's video. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. First, obviously, we need to make a new set of notes. All right, so today's Wednesday, or tomorrow's Wednesday, January 7th. There'll be 248 trading days left in the year. The close price on Tuesday was 54.01. And let's see, we didn't have a gap up today, so no more gaps. We didn't fill any gaps today, so that's all we need to do for now. We'll get to these 4-hour and day triggers and targets here in a second. Let's go ahead and head on over to the charts. This is my multi-grid. So this is 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day, 1 week. And then I've got my QQQ internals, tick Q, vol QD, and ADQD. So this is how I just keep a quick glance at how things are moving. Again, I don't trade strictly SOXL. That is what I trade most frequently from a day-to-day perspective, but I do have other mid and long-term swings on other companies as well, so I am a lot of times monitoring my other positions as well. That's why it's good to have this multi-screen up. I can get a feel for exactly what's going to happen or is lining up to happen, right? So getting to the individual chart, we've got our aftermarket up here as well. Let's go ahead and we will remove the price level 1. That is our opening print that we usually mark. We'll go ahead and move the overnight high. Of course, this will probably change by the time price opens on Wednesday. Wednesday. But let's just go ahead and get these moved so that in the morning it's easier to move them. We don't have to drag them a whole 2 days. All right. Take the overnight low and move that up and mark that. Oops. I don't know why my system is running slow, but let's do this. Let's get rid of these. 8, yes, delete. Okay. Okay, yeah, things are running a little bit smoother now. Apologize for that. Let's dive back on in and do a few things off of screen. Okay, so let's get back to the chart. So we've moved overnight high, overnight low. my guess is we'll probably get some more push to the upside. Who knows, we may get some more push to the downside. So for now, we'll just move these to here for our hypothetical scenario for when we talk about how we'll look at tomorrow morning. At the same time, let's go ahead and get off of the extended hours and switch to the let's go to the day first. Should be nothing that we need to touch just because, right, we went 2 up again. So let's go down to the next time frame. Looking at the 4 hour, again, we never made that higher low or anything like that. So no broadening formations that we need to touch on the 4 hour. This is our scalp chart. That's why it's maybe a little hard to see exactly everything over there. Let's get into the 1 hour. So right here we have our last higher high, and we have this hour broadening formation, right? This was high to a higher high after this higher low. We got the same type of thing, right? We got this high, then we got a higher low, and then we're moving to a high. Now we haven't got a 2 down on the 1 hour yet, so don't need to move this 1 hour broadening formation at this time. Obviously we beat that 15-minute downtrend line that we've got out there, so let's go ahead and look at the 15-minute. At the same time, we don't have any lower lows here on the 1 hour, so no broadening formation actually make a lower part of the broadening formation. We just need this upper broadening formation, which is still from yesterday, and you can see that's about where price kind of rejected from initially today. So let's go ahead and go down to the 15-minute chart, and we no longer have a downtrend. Let's see, looks like we will need actually, yeah, nothing to really put out there, just a bunch of sideways action. So I'm not going to put any 15-minute broadening formations out there. We'll go ahead and just basically leave all of that stuff how it is. Let's see. Just want it to, okay, those are good for the notes. So from the 15-minute, let's go back to the 4 hour and let's move our 4 hour broadening formation. 4 hour markers. For that, we've got to zoom in a little bit. Let's take this previous high a day and let's go up here. Oops. Set that on Tuesday's high. Our 4 hour trigger to the upside. Don't talk about it too much in the videos, but I do like to have that out there. The 4 hour trigger to the upside and to the downside. Right? That way we know when we're triggering something on the 4 hour without having to be on the 4 hour chart. And we'll take the previous low a day and move it up to Tuesday's low. Right? So that's what we've got for our scalp chart. Let's go to the swing chart. All right, and we just need to move the previous high a day, previous low a day. We don't have any hourly broadening formations here. Oops. All right, and all right, apologies, I had to respond to somebody on the phone, so it's not making this video any quicker or any more exciting, so I apologize for that. We'll get everything straightened out by the time we get to rolling with these videos. This is just the first one, so let's remove the price level 1. That was the opening print, right? So that's all we needed to move on our swing chart, and really nothing else to move on our on any of our other charts, right? We've got our day chart with nothing lower than daily broadening formations and things of that nature. So we'll remove the opening print level there. a lot of you may have noticed in yesterday's video, I put up a new fib extension levels just to try and get a better gauge as to where we might go in the short term, because we are above this range that we've been in. All right, if we take a look here, right, we've got the range that we've been in since October or whatever, and this latest move, right? We had the Fibonacci levels here for this drop, but since we bounced, right, this was the holiday, what I'm calling the holiday bull flag, right? This was 2 Thursdays ago. So this was, I'm sorry, 2 Thursdays or what was this, Thursday? Let's pull up the day chart. That way we know exactly what we're talking about here. Which day was this? This was, yeah, December 17th. So this was Thursday, December 17th. So the week before Christmas. Let's go back to this 4-hour chart so we can see it a little bit better. You can see we had this basically bull flag action, right? We had, oops, come on, Thinkorswim. We had this flag pole here, and then the flag right here. From there, that's what we drew this fib extension, right? So we've got there to there, and you can see these fib extensions that have gone up, and you can see we've gone right to the 138.2 fib. Saw a little bit of resistance at the 100 fib extension yesterday. That's where we had that little pullback. Again, didn't create a higher low on the 4-hour. We're still just pushing higher. But, after that low rejection, went back to the 78.6 level, bounced from there. We're back up to the 138.2. And you can see that 138.2 lines up with this. Let me activate it so you can see it. It's real dull. I've got this here, which is the fib extensions of the April 7th low, right? So let's pull out that chart. Can we fit it on the day? Yeah, we'll activate it. There we go. So you can see this was the April 7th low back here. This was a flag pull. Let's straighten this up a little bit. Oh, come on. Max 1 day. There we go. That makes it a little better. So if we straighten this up just a little bit and we activate that. Whoa, there we go. Thinkorswim. Here we go. Here's the April 7th low. Here's the pole, the flag pole. Here's the flag. And we bounced, right? Remember, we hit that 100% fib extension, rejected, came back to the 50, bounced up to the 138.2, rejected, got a little bit more pullback than we expected. Thought we would only come back down to like the 61.8, but ended up coming down to the 23.6, and then bouncing from there, going back up to that around that 138.2 fib extension, and now you can see how we've broken through that 138.2 and we're testing that 150 fib extension. So that is the April 7 low bull flag, and you can see how the bull flag, the holiday bull flag that we've put out here is lining up with some of those levels pretty well as well to the upside. You can see the 161.8 fib extension is lining up basically with the 161 of the April 7th bull flag as well, right? So this is just kind of my thinking and how I'm setting these up. Again, it's not too eventful video today, probably because there's nothing really there weren't a lot of changes, right? We didn't have a lot of volatility. It was just pushing up to the upside. So, yeah, not a whole lot to change on the charts or add or take away from, until we get some type of pullback. But this is just a little bit of what we, were asked to dive into, and we thought it was a decent idea. Might as well just record while we're updating our charts. So with that, we'll go ahead and update our notes. We can see we had a 2 up, 2 up. So if we go to the downside, we'll have this 2 up, 2 down, triggering at 53.31. 53.31 to the downside, and that would be a 2 up, 2 down. Right now, the magnitude of that move obviously is the low of the candle to the left of the 2. If you're not familiar with this strat, go ahead and check out the description of this video. There is a link to a free PDF with a quick reference guide to the strat. It's a very simple way to learn price action. But getting back to this, we would have a 2 up, 2 down, magnitude being the low of the candle to the left of the 2 up. So this low is 5107. So the magnitude of the move is 5107. Now that's a decent move in the face of this uptrend we're in. So we got an intraday bounce off of this 52.25 level. Market makers expected move high. If you're not familiar with that level, check out our weekend video where we talk about that a little bit more. But we did get an intraday bounce off of there, so it's possible to expect an intraday bounce off of there as well. Also, just because this 138.2 fib extension of the April 7 bull flag lines up around here as well. So would expect to see, if we're not going to reach magnitude on that move and we're just going to create this higher low on the 4 hour, I would look at this, what's this, 5191 level as a possible bounce point, right? So let's go over here and let's put in between magnitude. We've got a a target, and that was 5191. So 5191. All right. So, oops, we messed up our magnitude. Magnitude of this move is 5107. All right. And then we can have an extended target just in case things really get to run into the downside. We do have some economic numbers coming out tomorrow. So, if we do break below magnitude, that does technically trigger a 1 combo 2 up, 2 down. And the magnitude of that move is the low of the candle to the left of the 1. So basically the bottom of this 1 in this particular case. Other cases would be there. So the top of the gap, and we've talked about how intraday tops or bottoms of gaps can be bounce points without actually filling. So that would be another reasonable extended target for us here. So the low of this 2 is 48.63. 63, and then we'll just put this gap close as our further extended target, right? So probably a little extra for a 4 hour time frame, but yeah, SOXL can move, so let's make sure we're prepared, right? For upside, we would have a 2 up trigger at 54.30. 54.30. And since it is not a reversal, there is no magnitude for the move. We only have our targets. So this is where we would flip back to our scalp chart, and let's see, 55.51 and 56.56. 55.51 and oops. What was that? 56.56. All right. So those are how we come up with our triggers and targets. Let's see. Don't think we need anything else. Yeah, let's just dive into the day triggers and targets now. So let's go to the day chart. So let's go back to our daily broadenings, right? So if we go to the downside, let's look at downside first, right? Here's this range that we've been in. If we go to the downside, let's see, this triggers at 5107, which is the magnitude of the move on the 4 hour, right? And the magnitude of the move on the day would be the low of the candle to the left of the 2 up. So that would be this 2 up. That low is 48.63, right? So 48.63. Now we can probably just leave the rest of these out here. That would, right, we've got the gap closed, and this could turn into a combo 2 up, 2 down if we close the gap and continue to move back into last week's price action. So we'll go ahead and leave all these out here as well. But yeah, that'd be a long ways to go. 48.09, 47.70. Oops. 48.09 is the gap close. 46.79, 48.09, 47.70. Why would we have 47.01? Not sure why we got 47.70 in there. We'll just go with the 48.09, 46.79. 46.79, which is last year's 50% level. You can see here 2024 is 50% level, and you can see how that was a major support resistance level here. So we'll go ahead and leave that there on the board as well, in case these economic numbers or some catalyst has us really pushing to the downside. And you can see the low of this candle right here is 45.08. So if we do get this combo 2 up, 2 down that reaches magnitude, that would bring us back all the way down to this 45.08, right? So we'll leave that out there. To the upside, again, 54.30 is our trigger, and it's going to be a 2 up, 2 up again. Target, we'll just use this fib here. We won't go to the scalping fibs, but we've got this 56.92. 56.92. And then we've got the 58.62. All right, 58.62. So, just like the catalysts, our economic numbers, could push us to the downside, give us, a big pullback. It could also just continue to catapult us to the upside. So, we'll leave those extended targets there. Not quite as many, just because they're right. This is what, about a $6 move. This is about a $4 move. So, and then I think that's pretty even. Don't need to do anything on the week because we're not threatening going, bearish engulfing or a red 3. Don't need to do anything with the quarter. I'm sorry, the month. We're still above this 50.09. Definitely not threatening any type of 3. And then, oops, this would be a red 3. Good thing we caught that. The quarter, right, as long as we're above that 50.76, that 1 combo 2 down, combo 2 up is still intact. So don't need to change anything there. And on the year, as long as we're above that 50.76, then that's still intact. So not too much to put there. Let's just get the rest of this lined up for the video, and then we'll end this video and get set to record the actual nightly video. All right, so that is what we've got. Sorry, it was a little, the beginning was a little rough. Had a couple of things I had to take care of in between things, but yeah, we'll try and do this every night, and probably, maybe we won't do it on less eventful days, where there's not any volatility to the day, where there's no broadening formations that need to be changed or anything like that. Maybe that's what we'll do, and then just days with volatility, or where higher lows or lower highs or higher lows are being set, and broadening formations are being moved, and new levels of support and resistance are being made. Then maybe we'll break these videos out again. But we did want to try and we appreciate those who continue to tune in and those who interact with us. So if you've got a request, we'll try and make it happen. And hopefully this wasn't too bad. Just like our normal nightly and weekend videos, they'll get smoother the more we do them. Again, I had a couple distractions earlier at the beginning, but this is essentially how they'll go. Again, this was not a very eventful day because broadening formations weren't being moved or anything like that. So not a whole lot to this video, but we'll see what tomorrow brings, and let's get ready for the nightly video.